So who can you expect to deal with during the entire home buying process? You know, you've got your real estate agent, you've got your mortgage lender, but there's a handful of other people that you're also going to be working with and dealing with during the home buying process. So I want to break down the roles of each one of these individuals and why they play such an important part as part of the home buying process. You've heard the term, it takes a village. Well, it really does take a village to get you through the entire process when it comes to buying a home, from when you get pre-qualified to the time you find that house and you close. So the first one is obviously your mortgage lender. It's me. You're gonna need to get pre-qualified. So obviously, the whole point of all of this is to get you qualified so that you can actually go out and start shopping for a home. Your mortgage lender handles that piece of it. If you have a good mortgage lender, or if you're working with me or my team, you know that you had to provide several documents, your pay stubs, W-2s, you had to verify all that stuff, right? That's when we give you that pre-qualification. So that's my job, right, as a mortgage lender, is to get you qualified, to make sure that you can actually afford price point and the house that you're looking for in the program budget. That's the whole point of what I do. So I think I don't need to cover a whole lot of what the mortgage loan officer does, but obviously, very important part of the process. The next big person is the real estate agent. The real estate agent is the one who's actually going to show you those homes. So there's typically two real estate agents involved in a transaction or when you're buying a house. There's your agent or the buyer's agent, and then you have the seller's agent or the agent that's representing the sellers of the home. In some cases, you can work with just one agent. For example, it's called a dual agency. The agent listing the home is also your agent, but for the most part, you're gonna be dealing with two real estate agents. Once you're pre-qualified, then that realtor can take you out and start showing you homes in your available price range, and you're going to start making offers on those homes. Now, this is where it's important that your realtor and your lender have a good relationship and they're on the same page. Because if you want to get that offer accepted, maybe it's a tougher market and there's multiple people trying to get that house. If you have a good real estate agent, what they're going to do is they're going to call that listing agent or the seller's agent first and kind of just do some fact finding, figure out maybe if they could offer a little bit more, if they're open to the seller paying some of the closing costs, things like that. So they're gonna kind of pre-negotiate that. And then once they've done that, that's when the written offer goes out. You're gonna need to sign it. They're gonna go over all of it with you. What I like to do as a mortgage lender is I like to call that agent as well, just to let them know I did my due diligence, I did my job as far as getting you pre-qualified, saw the documents that I needed to, so that they feel confident knowing that if they do accept your offer, everything's gonna go through smoothly. So that's kind of the roles of the listing agent, the buyer's agent, and then the mortgage lender. Now, there are other people involved in this process. So for me and my team specifically, you deal with me up front during the pre-qualification, but you're also gonna be dealing with members of my team. They help me with the loan process so that we can get that done smoothly. They're just there to make sure that you're getting your paperwork in on time. They're gonna be sending you text messages and emails, just reminding you to get certain documentation in so we can continue the loan process nice and smooth. You're also gonna be dealing with a loan processor for the most part. The loan processor is kind of as a middleman between the underwriter of the loan, who's the one who approves your loan, as well as myself and other members on my team. So they're just there to help facilitate that entire process to make sure it goes through smooth, that it's set up correctly so that we can just keep the whole process going and get your loan done nice and fast. Now, a couple other people you're gonna wanna be aware of. The first one, right after you go under contract, you're more than likely gonna want to get a home inspection. So you're going to need a home inspector. If you don't know any home inspectors, talk to your real estate agent. That's their job. They've got lots of great contacts and they can refer you to either one or several different home inspectors or somebody that they recommend. Or if you know someone, again, it's your call. You can get whoever you want to go in there and inspect that home. I just don't recommend it being like a dad or a family member unless it's what they truly do for a living. You don't just want someone who knows things about houses to go and check it because they don't really know what to look for. So make sure you hire a professional home inspector. They're gonna give you a laundry list of stuff. Like I remember one of the homes that we bought, it was an older home, it was built in like 1982, and so it had a bunch of little things. Those are things that you can either request the seller to fix or you can just deal with it yourself depending on kind of how you negotiated that deal. So like I know for us, like it was an older home, there was a lot of little tiny things. We didn't worry about that. We didn't ask for anything to be fixed. I think there was one semi-major thing, so we asked for a credit to help offset that. The good news is during this inspection period, that's kind of when you have time to figure out if this home is going to really be your home, if you can see yourself in there for the next few years. Because if it does does have major issues, like maybe the AC unit is about to break or it has foundation cracks, you probably want to stay away from that. You probably don't want to tackle that unless you know what you're getting into or you're getting it at just a fantastic killer price. Always make sure you're getting a good home inspector to give you all the details of everything going on inside that house. Now keep in mind, this is an optional cost and it is something that you're gonna have to pay for out of pocket. Let's say they do inspect the home and they find major issues with the foundation and you decide to cancel that contract. Well, the money you've paid to that inspector obviously did his job, so you can't just ask for that money back or get it refunded. That money's gone. But again, it helped save you because either one, you're gonna find out you're getting a good deal and the house is in good shape, or you dodged the bullet and you're gonna move on to the next one. So it's a win-win. You always wanna get your home inspected. Now I do say it's optional because it's not required by us on the loan side of things, but it is still something that you always wanna do. The one that is not optional, in most cases, is the home appraisal. So you're gonna need to have a home appraiser. Now the good news is you don't have to figure that out. Interview appraisers and find someone that's gonna go and appraise the property. That's my job. That's what the lenders do. We order the appraisal. You'll actually pay us and then we pay the appraiser directly and they're going to give us their opinion on home value. I say it that way because I've seen it all directions, right? Let's say the home is $500K and the appraiser says, I think it's only worth $490. Or they might come back and say, hey, I think it's actually worth $550. It's their opinion of value, but they are going to use data and they're going to use comparable sales in the area to support that value. And most of the time, at least in our current market, if it's close enough, they also get a copy of that purchase price. So if they can see that you're under contract for $500K and it's coming in around $499 with the comps, most of the time they'll give you that extra, little $1,000 to bring it up to $500K. I'm not an appraiser. It's just based on my experience, that's kind of what I've seen. And I do get this question a lot. So let's say that the home does appraise for more than what you're buying it for. Does that mean you can finance less? Fortunately, no. The way that it works with pretty much every single type of loan, if you're doing the minimum down, they base that minimum down off of either the purchase price or the value, whichever is lower. If it comes in higher, then we're still gonna base it off the purchase price. However, if the value comes in lower than the purchase price, that's what we have to base that amount off of. So you have some options when that happens. If the appraisal comes in short, or if the value is not supported by the appraiser, we can either one, fight it, and we have to have some really good reasons to get it overturned, and you're gonna need your real estate agent's help to figure that out. The other option is to bring in the additional money. Let's say it came in $5,000 less than what you're buying it for. If the sellers are not willing to drop the sales price by $5,000, you would have to come in with an additional $5,000 on top of your down payment and everything else in order to make that loan work. If not, we cancel the contract, move on to the next one. So those are kind of your options on what happens with the appraisal and why it's important to have an appraiser do their job so that you know you're getting your value. But if it does come in high, even though we can't take advantage of a lower loan amount, you're going into that house with instant equity. That's like a nice little bonus that's getting added. And I've seen some crazy ones. I've had some really good real estate agents where we've seen them pick it up at a price and then it appraises $100,000 more than what you're actually buying it for. So that's just a huge win. Appraisers and the appraisal is a very important part of the process. Next, we have your title rep or your attorney or closing agent. That person you're really only gonna be dealing with towards the end of the process and a little bit up front. Sometimes they need a little bit of paperwork as far as how you wanna title it. Let's say you're getting a mortgage loan in your name alone, but you're married and you want your wife on the title to the house even though she's not on the mortgage. That's something the title company can help facilitate. They can help draft up that paperwork so that your spouse is still on the actual property of the home even though they may not be on the mortgage, or vice versa. They're basically there to make sure all the paperwork goes through, it gets recorded with the county, and that the only loan against it is the loan that you're getting. So that if the previous owner had back taxes or past HOA dues, they're gonna make sure all that's cleared up so that you're going into it fresh with just the loan that you agreed on with your lender. Another important person in this entire home buying process is an insurance agent. Yes, you have to have homeowner's insurance when you buy a house. Now the good news is you can use whoever you want. So I usually recommend whoever you have your auto insurance with, give them a call first and say, hey, I'm buying a house, I need to get a quote. Maybe they could have some sort of bundle policy or discount available for you. Always contact your insurance agent first. And if you don't know an insurance agent, I've got great partners I'd be happy to connect you with. People who have consistently done great deals for all of my past clients. In fact, they're who I use for my own personal insurance. So when I refer them out, I know they're gonna do a good job. So if you need help finding an awesome insurance agent, don't worry, I got you. I can hook you up and get you those quotes. In fact, what my team normally does is once we have the contract, we'll go ahead and just get a few quotes for you already. Even if you get your own, you can compare them against a few so you can make sure you're getting the best possible deal. So as you can see, it definitely takes a village in order to get you to close on your house. There's lots of people you're gonna be dealing with, but maybe you do get a phone call from somebody that you don't recognize. There is a lot of rampant fraud out there in the world. Always give me a call, give your loan officer a call to make sure they're legit and you're not giving your information to some random person, because that could be bad. Everything I've told you is right here in this awesome first-time homebuyers guide that I have. If you would like a free copy of this, in the link to my description is my website. Fill it out, get a free copy of this first-time homebuyer guide. This was just one small piece of it that I went over in this video today, but there's tons of other great information about the entire home buying process from start to finish. And if you are ready to apply today just to see what you could potentially qualify for, the same link will take you right to my website. You can apply for a loan today. My team will get on it. As soon as you upload those income documents, get everything we need, we'll come up with a plan for you and tell you exactly how much you can qualify for based on your current budget and what you're looking to do. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.